Alright, hi you guys again. So today we're gonna be working on solving quadratic functions using quadratic formula. And last time we already did the lesson on how to do the quadratic formula and how to solve quadratic functions using quadratic formula. Now we're gonna see how we're gonna apply this into the questions that we're gonna see on the SAT and PSAT. So one of the questions that I got from the SAT practice is, what are the solutions to 3x squared plus 2x plus 12x plus 6? And as we said last time, that when we talk about solution of the function, we automatically know that we're asking about the x-intercept is a question mark, or what's going to make this, the value of x in this function, equal to 0. So we have so many ways to do this. One of the ways, of course, is to do the diamond method or the factoring. So first, today I'm going to go ahead and, instead of doing the factoring just because we're practicing the quadratic formula, I'd like to start with doing the quadratic formula. So first I'm going to do 3x squared plus 12x plus 6 equal to 0. And then the second step, I'm going to do, let's see what's in common here. We got 3 in common. We got x squared plus 4x plus 2 equal to 0. And remember last time we did the steps, you can always go back to do all the steps, but I'm not going to really do the steps one by one with you this time. I'm just going to go ahead and do A is 1, B is 4, and C is 2. So we're going to find the discriminant, which is B squared minus 4AC, which is 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times 1, which is 16 minus 8, which is 8. So the discriminant is 8. So again, going back to the notes, when we say discriminant is bigger than 0, we automatically know that we have 2 real solutions and we have 2 x-intercepts. So D greater than 0, that means I have 2 real solutions. How do we find the solutions? We're going to do x1 is negative b plus square root of d over 2a, and x2 is negative b minus square root of d over 2a. Now, I'd like you on the margin here to always do the square root of the discriminant, which is 8. The smallest number we can simplify with is 2. We got 4, 2, and 2, 2 and 1. We're grouping them in groups of 2 since this is a square root. So we're going to say 2 squared times 2. That 2 is going to go outside the radical, which means square root of 8 is equivalent to 2 square root of 2. Now we're going to just plug in the b and the d and the a in the equation here. So I got x1 equal negative b. Negative b is 4. Negative 4 plus square root of 8 is 2 square root of 2, which is square root of d. So I'm going to just write 2 square root of 2 over 2 times 1. x1 is negative 4 plus 2 square root of 2 over 2. We can simplify all of them, divide them by 2. We're going to do x1 is 2 plus square root of 2 over 1. I don't need to write the over 1. So this is my first solution. The second one we got x2 equal negative, oh I'm sorry, here I missed the negative. negative 4 minus 2 square root of 2 over 2. And then I'm going to divide all of the terms by 2. So I got x2 is negative 2 minus square root of 2, again over 1. We're not going to write the over 1. So this is going to be my second solution. So the two solutions are, you can write them this way, or you can say x1, x2 is negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2, and this is going to be your answer. Alright, now this is one of the type of the questions you might see on the SAT. It's not really hard, even though it's under the calculator section. You do not really need a calculator because the form of the answers you're going to see are going to be in square root form. They're not simplified. They're not simplified numbers. Alright, now let's move on to, let me just do this as example 1. Let's do example 2. I wrote the question before I started recording. And I also took this from one of the SAT practice questions. So we have the expression 1 over 3 x squared minus 2 can be rewritten as 1 over 3 x minus k to x plus k, where k is a positive constant. What is the value of k? So as we can see here, what do we have? We have 1 over 3 x squared minus 2. And then what we're seeing on the other side, we are seeing it in the form, in a factored form, right? So in order for me to find the factored form, and we talked about this a few lessons back, to find the factored form, I'm going to write it down for you. To find the factored form of a quadratic function, I have to find the x-intercept. How do I find the x-intercept? I have few methods. Have to find or to use the diamond method or the quadratic formula. Now both of them, whatever you use, if you can use the diamond method, it's going to still give you the same answer as the quadratic formula. So it's up to you which method you want to go with. But since I'm kind of reviewing the quadratic formula, I'd rather use the quadratic formula. So given 1 over 3 x squared minus 2, again, I'm going to go ahead and use the steps I have, or the steps we've learned. So we're going to do A is 1/3, B is 0, C is negative 2. So we're assuming, we should know that we're going to have two real numbers, which means the discriminant is going to be greater than 0, because I have here two factors. So let's prove this. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. The b is 0 minus 4 times 1/3 times negative 2. So the d is, so what we're going to do, we do the top by top and bottom by bottom. So negative 4 times 1, negative 4 times negative 2, that would be 8 over 1 times 3 is 3 times 1 is 3. So discriminant is 8 over 3, which is greater than 0. Okay, so we know that we have two solutions. Now let's find the x's. So x1 is negative b plus square root of 8 over 3. I'm sorry, let's do it that way. Over d over 2a. And then we have x2, that is negative b minus square root of the discriminant over 2a. Now, the discriminant is square root of 8 over 3, which is the same of square root of 8 over square root of 3. So we did the square root of 8 is 2, square root of 2, over square root of 3. Now we have to rationalize this. Okay, but I don't want to complicate you because we did not do the rationalizing part yet. So I'm just going to use this one here. So we got x1 is negative b plus 2 square root of 2 over square root of 3 over 2a, which is 2 times 1 over 3. And remember, the b is 0, so I don't really need it. So I got x1 is 2 square root of 2 over square root of 3 all over 2 over 3. Now, the annoying part with this is the calculation part. Alright, the steps are really easy, straightforward. So I taught my students something called the Chinese method last year, which is when you divide fraction with a fraction, you will do the far by the far. So 2 square root of 2 times 3, which is 6 square root of 2 over 2 times square root of 3, which is 2 square root of 3. We can now simplify the 6 and the 2, and we'll get 3 square root of 2 over square root of 3. Now, if you are allowed to use calculator, then I would just say go ahead and use calculator. Alright, now this is x1, so x2 is going to be the same, but it's going to be in a negative form. So now we can simply say that 1 over 3 x squared minus 2 is equivalent to 1/3 of x minus 3 square root of 2 over square root of 3 x plus 3 square root of 2 square root of 3. I know it's not really hard, but I know there are a lot of steps to it, and there's a lot of calculation going on here. Alright, now let's move to example 3. And in example 3, I do not have it written down, but I'm just gonna show you the question. Here, that's the book that I'm using. It's the SAT practice questions. So I'm going to be working number 15. And this is example 3. Alright, so it says here we got 3x squared minus 3k squared minus 18k plus 12 equals 0. What is the product of all values of k that satisfy the equation above? So when we're talking about the values of k that will satisfy the equation, again, we're talking about a solution. When we talk about solution, we're talking about the values of x or the x-intercept. To find the x or the x-intercept, we can go ahead and do either the diamond method or the quadratic formula, but I'd like to use the quadratic formula in this question. So We're just looking for the value of k in this case. Alright, so first, what is the greatest common factor? We got 3, we got k squared, minus 6k plus 4 equals 0. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and work on the A, B, and C. A is 1, B is negative 6, and C is 4. Again, please go back to the notes we had last time if you want to review these A, B, and C's. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac, which is negative 6 all squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. Alright, and then we're going to do it step by step. 36, negative 6 squared is 36 minus 16. So here I'm going to write D. And 36 minus 16 is 20. So I know D is greater than 0. I know I have 2 real solutions. Alright. Now, x1 is negative b plus square root of d over 2a, which is negative b is negative 6 plus square root of d over 2 square root of d is square root of 20. So the 20 is, if we simplify it, the 20 would be 2, 10, 2, 5, 5, 1. So square root of 20 is 2 square root of 5. So we're going to go ahead and substitute it here. 6 plus 2 square root of 5 over 2. And then we're going to simplify this, dividing by 2 all of them, and we will get 3 plus square root of 5. And then it says, what is the product of all the values of k? That would be 3 square root of 5 as the answer. Alright, again, it's really not complicated. It's just steps to it that you have to always remember how to do them and be very careful with the calculation part. Alright, I think I have one more question for you. That, yep, we got this question here. I'm gonna do more questions on how to use the quadratic formula. You know, things that comes from the SAT questions. So we're gonna do this one, and that's example 4. And the question is 5x squared plus 30x plus 15 equals 0. And again, what is the solution? First step, take 5 in common. We got x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 0. And then we have a 1, b is 6, and C is 3. So we're going to go ahead and do the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, 36 minus 4 times 1 times 3, and that would be d is 36 minus 12, which is 24. Now we know that d is greater than 0. That means we're going to have two solutions. So I'm going to do x1 is negative b plus square root of d over 2a. Let's go ahead and do square root of d, the margin here, which is square root of 24. So 24, the least number I can divide it with is 2. 12, 2, 6, 2, 3, 3, 1. So I'm going to group them in groups of 2. I can get only one group of 2s. So that would be square root of 2 squared times 2 times 3. This is going to go outside the radical. That will make it 2 square root of 6. So I got x1, I'm just going to plug in the numbers, is negative b, which is negative 6, plus 2 square root of 6 over 2. X1 is negative 3 plus square root of 6. And of course, x2 is going to be just the opposite of this sign, which will be negative 3 minus square root of 6. So x1, x2 will be negative 3 plus or minus square root of 6. And these are the solution of the function, so it would be d. Alright, so we did 4 examples today that will help you, kind of connect and make connection of what you've learned and how to apply it to the SAT questions. I'm going to probably have 1 or 2 more videos for this week's lesson to show you how to apply what you've learned to the SAT questions and how to use the critical thinking skills that will help you get good scores on the SAT. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed the lesson. If you have questions, please let me know.